Hello everyone, I'm Danielle from empoweredreadings.com. So today's pick a card. I'm gonna do what's coming in the next 3 months. So it is a predictions reading, and I am gonna leave it out there that it doesn't have to be specific to when it's released. If you find this video in several months or a year or 2 years from now, I'm leaving it open that when you find it, it's when you need to hear the messages that come through. So with that being said, we're gonna take a look at the piles down here, and I'm gonna give you a little more explanation on what we plan to do today. I've been really digging keeping you guys all more involved and incorporated with what's going on in the reading so that you kind of see my process and how I choose the cards. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna take a look now. Okay, so how we're gonna be using card decks today. First, you're going to pick which pile resonates with you based off of one of these crystal cards. And then we are going to be pulling the energy you're in right now from these two mermaid decks so that you know if this reading is for you, it's resonating with you, it's in the situation that you're in. And then these other 3 decks we're going to pull from to see what's coming in, what's up for you in the next 3 months. I'm keeping this as an open-ended, timeless reading. So if you're watching it as it's released, it will be what's coming for you in the first 3 months of 2023. But honestly, it can be any time. If you're finding this card reading and this message, then it doesn't matter what time you're seeing it at. Okay. So that's what's happening with these cards. I only do about 3 months because I find there's so much variable in your free will and your choices and the actions you make that if you do a whole year, odds are it's going to be very blurry and unspecific and very variable. So I just stick with 3 months. So right now we're just going to pick the 4 piles. Pile 3. Oh, and there we go. Sorry, I said 3 piles, but I was thinking 4. So here's the 4. Ooh, a lot of clearing and changing stones. So that's really cool to see. If you've seen these videos before, I always get people to ground themselves before they do a pick-a-card reading. I really like to make sure everyone is in the right mindset, in their body, in sync. The messages are going to resonate more. You're going to be more in touch, more aligned with your intuition, and know if this pick-a-card has a message for you or which pile is for you with more confidence and more ease. So how I teach people to do that is I tell them to take 4 deep breaths while visualizing that there's like a light above your head and you're breathing it in down through your nose all the way to your core, and then you're breathing it out, or whatever you no longer need, out of your mouth. You do it 4 times to really make sure you're taking good breaths in and out. And you'll see what I mean if you try to do that. Sometimes it feels a little bit forced the first time or 2. So that's why I always say 4 or more. Whatever feels good for you. And then another thing you can do if you don't like the breathing method is putting your feet flat on the floor and then visualizing them growing roots that go all the way down to the center of the earth. And if you feel like tingling under your toes, or you really feel like firm on the ground, then that's great. It means it's working for you. So those are just kind of 2 of the main ways that I tell people to ground themselves. And then from there, you're gonna look at each pile and just, if there's a crystal on it that jumps out at you, then go for that one. If you just like the imagery on the card or something about the card deck, it could be the color, it could just be something you can't quite put your finger on, then that's good to go with that one. Some people like to go and look in the description box and see if there's a number associated with the pile that's just jumping out at them. So you could do it that way. There's also going to be little emojis that are randomly selected. That doesn't mean anything about the card reading. And if one of them jumps out at you, maybe try going for that one. But that's kind of the last way I would pick a pile, but I just thought I'd incorporate it just to give a few more options for people if they were having a hard time resonating with any of the piles. Okay, well, now's the time where I let you get grounded and then you'll be able to pick your piles. I'll see you guys in your card readings. Okay, pile one. So you guys chose selenite. And the question on it says, are you striving for a deeper connection with the divine? Quiet your mind. Listen to what your angels and guides want you to know. Hear the ancient wisdom within. Align your spinal column. Care for your bones, muscles, nerves, and your cells. Ooh, I really like that. And on the back, it's divine guidance. It says, I am aligned with the divine. I am a spiritual being of divine love and divine light. My spine, bones, tendons, and muscles are healthy, strong, and aligned. I have access to the ancient wisdom stored within me. So I haven't pulled any cards yet, but my impression from this is this card is great for people who have been feeling like they are a little disconnected from their spiritual side. They're having a hard time manifesting things in. Their bodies are feeling a little out of alignment with themselves. You might have some tightness, some aches and pains you've been trying to get rid of. Sort of things like that. Some digestive issues that maybe you've always had them, but they're acting up more than normal, or you've never had them and now you're having issues. Things like that. But I do feel like it would really be affecting your spiritual connection for this pile. And they've just been feeling not as connected as you would like with your guides, the divine, the angels, and all of that. But let's see. We'll pull some cards and double check that energy for you. Okay, so we're just going to ask, what is pile one? What energy is pile one in right now? What have they been stuck in? What are they struggling with? So the energy you have been in makes sense why you are wanting to shift out of it, why you're wanting something better to come in. I do see that this has been, I don't want to say necessarily a dark night of the soul energy, but more of a lower point for you guys. I get the impression that you, it's interesting, I can't tell if some of you have recently or had gone through a breakup, or and you like they broke up with you, you weren't really ready to let them go, but they just didn't appreciate you, value, or see you as you should have been seen. You were doing a lot of the extra work. I feel like you were the giver, and phased out of you because that's just what they do. It's not you. I feel like this person kind of just goes for the newest, shiniest object, and they started to spend too much time with you to the point where they just wanted something new and more exciting. And yeah, it's nothing personal. It seems like it was the flaw in this other person not being able to go deeper. But what it did to you guys is, it's very interesting. I almost feel like you had this like dream version of what the relationship was, and you're having a hard time letting that go. Like they should have been perfect for you. They were everything that you thought you wanted on paper, but I just keep getting that it was like the dream version. That was like the potential you could see within them, but it wasn't actually what they were giving you. And through this breakup, the other thing, sorry, as soon as I was saying that, I almost feel like for some of you, you never were officially dating. it was just like promising that you'd be their partner. And I see it as you were doing everything like a girlfriend or boyfriend would be doing with this person, but they would never fully commit to you. And that's also really tricky. But they really kind of put it back on you like you were just needing too much validation or something. But I really see that it was kind of their issue. And a lot of this has been like a healing time or a time you've needed to put yourself back together. Everything here is very, very stormy, very hard. Lots of lows that you've been through, that you've been trying to bring back in that brighter side of you, that hopeful side, that side that you were before this all happened. And I actually see where this moon card comes in, where you've been trying to start doing the things you used to do, and that's really great to see. The words I'm really stuck on is the farewell, which is telling me that this relationship is really done and it's not coming back. You're over it, whether it's that you've set the boundary that you're not going to go back, even though your heart sometimes tells you that it wants to. It's, you know, it's not the right call for you. And then I really like also seeing this card here where it says reclaiming your authenticity, with especially with this moon card. It's telling me that you guys have been working on becoming your more independent self, figuring out who you are again, and really working towards that and wanting that for yourself. So that's really great. And then these cards really just reiterating the same thing as these cards over here about needing time to heal your heart from this situation that had happened, this relationship that you left, this, I almost want to say trickery that happened. And now I really look at this, manifesting. You're trying to manifest in more. I really like that. It's been reiterated twice. You have two different card decks telling you that. So I really think that's great. Whatever you're trying to start doing, I feel like you've had a lot of like, I don't know if this is working. I feel like I'm not even connected. But this pull right here is validating that you are doing things right. You're doing good. You came out of a really tough time, a really dark time. Emotionally, I feel like you're very low, but you have been very strong, very brave, and you're taking the steps you know you need to transition out. And they're seeing that, they're recognizing that. They say you are manifesting in better, greater things, but do remember not to rush through it. If you're starting to feel better, and don't think that you're just ready now, just keep working on that heart healing. There might be like another person that's kind of bringing you up, that you're feeling a little bit of like those vibes with. I'm trying to think of the right word. You're feeling the feelings with. I feel like it's really lusty though, and I mean, I don't mean that in you're just sleeping around or anything, but it just feels like this attraction is very physical. Something about their energy is very attractive to you. I think it's because they had something this other person didn't have in the end. But it's not a great time. You still have a lot of healing to do. And if you jump into a relationship or a little thing with this guy, it could end up like this situation again. So it's not that you can't trust people, not at all. It's just that your heart needs a little more healing to make a good, clear, unbiased, see all the sides decisions before you pursue those little lusty connections. Sorry for the word, but it's like I keep getting lusty. Yeah, I really just make a wish. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. Keep doing whatever you started doing. I think you guys are doing full moon manifestation work. If that's it, that's great. They really like it. Love it a lot, actually. Okay, and when I read this, I think it could be good to maybe say this, maybe just even once as an affirmation, or if you're really feeling it, it could be great to say it once a week or once a day. I'll read it again just to be sure everyone heard it. It says, "The angel of divine guidance. I am aligned with the divine. I am a spiritual being of the divine love and divine light. My spine, bones, tendons, and muscles are healthy, strong, and aligned. I have access to the ancient wisdom stored within me. yeah, I feel like that's all of what you're wanting, connection within yourself. So if you feel drawn to it, don't hesitate to just say that to yourselves from time to time. Okay, we're gonna move into the energy that's coming your way, because you guys already know all this. Now let's get into the exciting stuff. I'm gonna start with this Dragon Oracle. I really like it. Just got it. First time I'm using it, so let's see what we got here. Ooh. Okay, so we have Orange Dragon. Brings soul families and communities together. And Deep Blue Dragon keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. You know what? I kind of want 3, so give me another one. And Earth and Water Dragon creates the foundations for new growth. Okay, Palin. So with these 3 cards here, I really like them for you. It goes back to that manifestation that I was getting at the start, and bringing in what you want, wanting change, that kind of energy. And I'm gonna do them a little out of order actually. I really want to start with this Deep Blue Dragon. I love it. It says, keep you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected. Walk on a path of light. So the Deep Blue Dragon has very similar vibes to Archangel Michael. So if you like working with him, you could definitely work with these 2 together. And I would stress that you specify with dragons their color specific. So Deep Blue Dragon, not just Blue Dragon. What this is going to help you with is clearing out the lower energies that are surrounding you. So when I was talking about your energy that you're in and how it felt in a place you're trying to shift out of, what I see coming your way is stepping to a path where you're not going to be as affected by the energies of others. Like if you go into crowds, a lot of times if we're not shielding our energy, we pick up that lower vibration. We all of a sudden don't feel as great or as fully ourselves as we could be. And how you can do that, a suggestion I would give to you is working with this Deep Blue Dragon to to clear the energies in the places you go. So I would recommend shielding yourself with the royal blue color of Archangel Michael, and then visualizing these Deep Blue Dragons. You could do one, you could do multiple ones, kind of flying ahead of you at all times and eating and clearing away that lower energy in places like grocery stores, the place you work at, schools if you have kids, or if you yourself are a student. This pile, I really feel like you want to be of service to the world, to the spiritual world, to other people. And this is how you can do a good thing for you and a good thing for the earth, for the universe, and for the others, is to do this, because by clearing those energies, it's going to make everyone feel better. I mean, people who go through that area will release them again, but it won't be as overwhelming. And if you think about a school, for example, there's a lot of stress there, and it's really great to have people who are helping, I want to say, just like the earth out, the other people out, and are clearing that energy. And it's just going to be a better flow, more peaceful place for everyone in the long run. And it's going to be very protective for you. And it's going to really help you shift out of lower energies, because this pile picks them up pretty easy. Even when I see selenite, we use that to cut cords, to clear the lower energies that have stuck to us. So when I see that, this card really makes sense that it came up. It's kind of funny, because I was trying to do what's coming your way, but I actually think this card here, doing these things, be what helps get you there faster, is how you can manifest in what you're wanting in the future. That's a better word, because everything I got here is around what you want to manifest in. So okay, so what each dragon here represents is calmer times, better spiritual protection in the future, and not being affected by lower energies, negative energies, neutral energies, you name it. They're not going to get to you and stick to you, because I feel like they previously have been. And then this orange dragon here is talking about you bringing in your soul family. And what this is going to do is make you feel more connected with everything in the universe. It's going to show the light in all things for you. You're going to, instead of maybe seeing the flaws, you might see the great potential of that person. And it's not going to be to make you feel more drained. It's going to be so that you can see the goodness out there. And when you're feeling happier and more grateful towards other people, you're going to be more open. And when you're more open, you are going to be more open to finding, or for your soul family members to come back in. And if you're like, what are soul family members? They're like those soul groups that we have like originally came through with, that we, on a soul level, when we see them, we just have so much love for them. And you might not even know them at all. You might just have known them for a very short time, but they have truly deep connections because our souls have known each other for a long, long time. And there's lots of love there. I find some of the deepest soul love you can find. So it's really great to see that coming in. And it's also going to mean, instead of finding people who can kind of use you or take advantage of you, you're going to find more balanced relationships. You're going to find people who are, what's the word I'm looking for, who are going to help you. They're going to be cooperative. They're going to be able to support you and bring all these things in that you bring into others. I just see very balanced, very good energy. And I also see, and when I see orange, I really start thinking about passion, fun, joy, creativity, love for life, easygoingness, all these great things, which is really, I think, what everyone wants. So that's great to see coming in here. Yeah. And also, when we're happy, more people are attracted to us. So if we just really want to simplify it, if we're feeling good, if we're emitting more light and love out there, other people are more drawn to us and wanting to be a part of that, help us out, help them out. It's really great energy. And then this earth and water dragon says, creates the foundation for new growth. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. So this is where I was really getting the manifestation vibes here. Is this dragon here has very similar to, I find Sandalphone, angel vibes, where he hears what we want and brings it up to the heavens and allows it to be manifested. This dragon, I feel very similar vibes. Earth and water are such great energies because earth is so grounding and water is good and flowing when it's balanced. Great card for bringing in, like, rooting down what you want and bringing flow to it, so it's good energy. So I almost get new career vibes, new project vibes, like a business, starting your own business kind of vibes. Something around that. It doesn't have to be that. It is a general card reading, but that is where my mind goes right away. And that having these people who are helpful, and I keep thinking cooperative, they're going to be cooperative, is really good for this, bringing in this new career, new business kind of energy. I mean, honestly, this is great for any kind of thing. Really, it just means that whatever you're trying to do, it's time to start doing it. It's going to start coming in. You're ready to take action. It's happening. So that's really good. So if this is what's going to come in the next 3 months, it's basically saying, learn how to shield your energies. Work with the dragon energy. I really, really like this energy in this pile. I really hope you do that. You picture deep blue dragons clearing the way, because I feel like it's so good, because wherever you go, there is a lot of negative energies, and it's going to be such a great service to the universe to do that on a spiritual level, which is great. I feel like you guys like that too, and it's going to be so good for you on emotional, energetic level, on getting you to be more productive and bringing in these happier, better soul family relationships. So I should also say this energy is very similar to Archangel Shamuel, who brings in our basically our divine matches, whether they're friends, lovers, bosses, whatever, careers, brings all that in. So yeah, you got like really great cards, all three of them together, amazing. And the suggestions on how to get that to move faster is definitely clearing the energies. Working with Orange Dragon is going to help you trust your intuition and bring in more of that joy quicker. Like, work with them as a guide. That's what I'm going to suggest if you feel called to it. Working with these dragons as your own guides for a small portion of time for the next 3 months, maybe for a year, whatever you feel right or called to do. If you really want to double down on that kind of manifestation power, I would recommend working with the angels associated with them as well. So you've got two different vibes. I know dragons are technically flying creatures, but I actually feel that they are very grounding creatures. So I like that you would have the angelic equivalent, which is very high energy. So are dragons, but they feel more earthy to me. Yeah, can't quite tell you why, but that's just the energy I get off of them, as they feel very grounding. Yeah, so that would be great. It was Michael for shielding, energy shielding, Shamuel for bringing in the divine matches and truly asking them to help bring them in and helping you trust your intuition and seeing the light in others. And then the Earth and Water Dragon, which was equivalent to Sandalphon, to help you root your ideas and manifest them in. Because when I see this card here, it's really saying that you're going to be a place where everything's going to be aligned. These other two cards are saying that everything's working. You're safe, you're protected, your energy's good, you have the right people in. Now it's time to take your action. In about 3 months, you're going to start doing whatever it is to set strong foundations. I am getting that it's important that you don't rush through this process, meaning don't hesitate or procrastinate about starting. But if it feels like the idea, the root foundation keeps shifting a bit, keep checking in with that intuition and seeing if the choices feel good, if it's the right direction. The foundation roots that it sits on needs to be the part that you spend the most time on, the most patience with, and then from there it's just gonna move real quick. Whatever it is that you're trying to come in, manifest in, it's just gonna really take a turn. It's gonna speed up once you have a really good foundation. It is a really good thing. I really want to emphasize that. I'm not getting anything that it's not like a great, amazing thing. And that's why I keep getting a little bit biased. I feel like it has a spiritual aspect to it, but that could just be because these cards all feel very into the spiritual and you're really wanting to be of service and bring more love in. So yeah, okay. I think I might just pull 1 or 2 cards from this, asking what energies are coming in 3 months or within the next 3 months. For pile 1. Oopsies. Okay. Learn to scan your body. Ooh, I really like that. This is where it's really important that you're going to start paying more attention to how the other energies around you are affecting you and making sure that you are shielding with Archangel Michael's energy and you are working with this dragon energy to clear it. And that way, when you're feeling a little bit off, maybe you're getting into some kind of spiritual work, you can very easily pick up the energies of other. I should also say, if you're even just trying to do some kind of healing for in any category, physical, or maybe you're doing verbal therapy of some sort, or life coaching, it is important to know how to scan your body and see when you've picked up something that is not yours, so that you can clear it. Yeah, so I really do feel like these cards are like ways you can speed up what you want to come in, and I like that. Purify your body. Ooh, that's like another really good one. 22. See, I really like that. I think you guys should work with the angels on top of this dragon energy, because it really feels good. You really feel aligned with it. How I want to say this is, I think you guys have worked with dragon energy and angelic energy in many lifetimes, and that's why it's coming up so strongly for you. I feel like you guys definitely aren't new souls, that's for sure. You have very old soul energy, lots of wisdom in there, and I think that's why you feel so driven to be of service to the world, is because you've just done it in so many lifetimes. Okay, I'm gonna ask for one more, because I don't like the idea that there's even numbers. Okay, what this one? Violet, create a balanced life. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely feel like it's important that during this time, if you ever feeling lost or not fully yourself, your intuition is gonna be what saves you, what guides you. Because if you're having a thing where you're like, I'm not feeling like myself, and why is that? What can I, like, what's going on? If you get a little voice in your head, he's gonna like, maybe I should do this, or maybe I should, you know, like do a chakra clearing meditation. Follow that, because I feel like it is so incredible. Your intuition, you have so much wisdom, like I was saying, from numerous lifetimes around here, to trust that. I do think that sometimes, unfortunately, you think you're just thinking it, you're not fully trusting it, but in the next 3 months, you're really going to start working this out. You're going to start more quickly trusting that intuition and going that way, or asking your guides for help, versus before where you were perhaps a little more stuck in something and you'd be like, oh, maybe I should do that, but I'm not feeling motivated to do it, or you just, whatever reason, you know, as humans, that just happens. But I feel like you're really gonna get really good at that. That's really good to see. You're gonna get unstuck a lot faster than you have been able to previously. Great things to see. Really, like, again, I see Violet, I'm like, oh, you guys really do good with Archangel Michael. He's definitely very connected to you guys. He's definitely around you guys, whether you're aware of that or not. He definitely is keeping an eye out for you. So if you don't work with him already, maybe you should just look into some more ways that Archangel Michael works with us. He does do cord cutting, which I think could be great for this pile. He does the shielding, which I already have recommended. He also can clear your chakras, and I would maybe consider doing that as well with him. Really just using everything, all the tools he offers to us. Another thing I just want to mention with the yellow card, for some reason I feel like working with yellow and purple together would be great for this pile. I think where I was saying you guys might have a little bit of digestion issues all of a sudden, or like I said, maybe they're just worse than normal, but you've always kind of had a few. I think you should wear yellow for that. I can't guarantee that it's the end all be all, but it's coming up in your reading and it feels so important. This beautiful bright yellow. Like, if you like wearing yellow rubber boots, wear them. A yellow raincoat. I don't know why I keep talking about rain stuff, but I feel like yellow's really good. And if you can somehow incorporate purple, something about this combination for this pile for the next 3 months is so, just feels really good. It feels like it's gonna charge you up. It's gonna clear energies and refuel you in a way that your body is needing. Ooh. Yeah, and I know it's hard to get like exact shades, but I really do like these two tones. I don't like the idea of a faded yellow, to be honest. It feels like not enough energy in it for what your body is wanting from that color. Same with the purple. You could maybe go a bit darker, but do not go for pastels. I just feel like that's really important. I feel like your body is wanting bright colors. It wants to really get the healing energy from the color, and I just feel like dull colors are not good. It feels dull energy, dull. It's just no. Like I said though, like, only take what resonates, but that feels really good for this pile. And I don't know why I'm saying that, but I feel like your guts specifically really want this life force yellow in their life. So you could wear underwear that color if you're like, I don't want to wear bright yellow. I don't like that color at all. I also noticed that whatever color I really don't like. It's usually the color I need the most of in my life. So, and it does change all the time for me. If I'm feeling like a little like, I really don't like that, I usually have to put it on because the block within me is fighting that. I hope that makes sense. I've gotten better. I feel like the more you start to realize the power of color therapy and like wearing that color and eating that color can do to your body, that it makes you really love all the colors for like the beautiful things they can bring in for us. So if you've been feeling that way about yellow, I mean, if you got time one night just to go like, what are the healing benefits of yellow? And then you're kind of like, wow, I can't believe I didn't value that color before. And I even think this could be like one of those shifts that this card talks about shifting the way you see things and seeing the beauty and like the light and the benefits that things bring in that you might not have realized before. Okay, anyways, that's a bit of a rant. If you're having digestive problems, I know it can be pretty hard to eat yellow because it could be bananas, and that's not the nicest on our bodies. So I really am going to state that I feel like it's important to wear the color, not so much eat it for this pile. I got some love affirmation ones. I really like this deck. It's called Whispers of Love, and we just want to know what's happening the next 3 months for you guys. Next 3 months, messages for this pile, please. Okay, we'll take it. Let's see, what do they got for you? Actions speak loudly. Express your love through action. Consider your foundations. Look at how committed you are to love. And I'm someone who likes even numbers for cards, so let's do 3 again. Ask for help. Ooh. Well, I am liking where they're going with this. I'm getting 2 different messages. So the action speaks loudly. Express your love through action. Consider your foundations. Look at how committed you are to love. Ask for help, and what do you really need? Be willing to accept support. I feel like these 2, actually I'm gonna lie, I think I'll talk about them all individually. This one here, where it says action speaks loudly, express your love through action. I feel like you guys are really great at being verbalizers on your appreciation, what you like about a person, that, you know, giving compliments, things like that. But I do think that these other people, I can't be sure, I think it could even be this soul family group that's trying to come in. They're people whose love language is more affiliated with actions. It's not that they don't like words. I feel like for them the action is more important. So bringing them a coffee to say thank you for something, or getting them a small gift if they've done a huge favor for you. And if you're maybe you just never really had people do that for you, these people are for sure going to. They are givers. They are gonna match your energy. They're gonna be really great. They're gonna be really loving, supportive, and caring, and it's calling for you to reciprocate it equally in the same way that they're giving it to you. So don't necessarily stop saying those great things, but know that to them it means more to see a physical reaction or a physical action to validate what they've done. Because I feel like they're doing physical things, like physical gifts, services for you, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. So that's something to consider in the next 3 months. Is I think you're going to start shifting this, hopefully, for this smoother transition, for these people to feel equally loved and appreciated by you. As for me, I don't think it's just, I actually feel like it's more friendships than romantic partners. But that being said, if you do end up going for that connection that we saw in the start, this could also be speaking to that. And then consider your foundations. I really see this as reflecting on what you want out of relationships, what your expectations are. And I do think that's in both the friendship and the romantic, and seeing what is true for you still and what was influenced by what people said should be true. Meaning, if you've always felt pressured by society to be in a relationship, why have you felt that way? Is it true? what type of person you're supposed to be with. Is that true? Do they have to be really beautiful and have the perfect hair and always look sharp and never look a little more natural and casual? It could be anything like that, but I think in the next 3 months, you're really going to start evaluating that and seeing what you really want, what's actually in alignment for you, versus all this stuff that was kind of pushed and forced onto you in your youth. And I feel like all the years you were in school, that's kind of the energy, the influence I'm getting off that card. And then this last one where it says ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. These new grouping of people that are coming in are super helpers. They are not doing it to hold against you, to ask for future favors. They're doing it because they love you, appreciate you, and see you struggling and want to help you. So don't be afraid to be a bit vulnerable in the next few months and ask for that support when you need it. I doubt that these people are just going to say, no, I don't feel like it. They're going to, if it's a no, it's going to be, I'm so sorry, I have a previous commitment, but can I help you another time? It's going to be stuff like that. And it's saying that you might be a little scared about it, but don't worry. These relationships coming in are really in your best alignment. So it's time for you to equally put out that trust and that availability to be vulnerable. Yeah, just because you can't really get deeper with relationships if it's just them being vulnerable and you're not also being vulnerable and getting your needs met and they're getting their needs met. So those are just things to remember in the next 3 months. I feel like the top 3 cards are going to be things that you're going to be working through in the 3 months. I don't think they're going to be perfected necessarily, but the other 6 cards we had previously talked about, these dragon cards and the color cards, I think they are just coming in. This is what you're going to be dealing with, is new projects, bringing in the people, and taking charge of your spiritual and energetic protection, healing up that digestive issue or that body upset that you're dealing with. I don't know if it's like a chronic pain coming back or a tension in your body somewhere that isn't quite doing you any favors, and connecting to that intuition and being more self-aware and knowing when you're out of alignment. So that's what I see for you over the next 3 months. That's all I've got. I'm going to leave the reading here. Yeah, if you guys like this reading, go ahead and leave a like or a comment. If it resonated, it's great to know. And other than that, I hope you guys have a good New Year's, and don't forget to connect with the angels and the dragon energy, because it feels so aligned and so good with your soul energy. It's really quite cool. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys around. Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed your card reading. I just want to take the time to say, if there is a topic you would like to see a card reading about, feel free to leave it in the comments. I can't guarantee that I'll do it, but I would like to know what other people are wanting to hear or have readings around. And if not, feel free to just like this video or leave a comment whether it resonated or not. You know, just so I know that it's working for someone, it's helping somebody out. Yeah, that's really all I have to say here. So anyways, thanks for sticking it through to the end, and I hope you guys enjoy your week. I'll see you soon. All right, pile 2, you guys chose this apatholite crystal. What it says on it is, do you wish to gain a better understanding of a situation? It's time to meditate. Sit in silence, open your consciousness, listen for your soul's truth, and embrace it without judgment. Mental clarity and self-acceptance are gifts of a regular meditation practice. And then the affirmation on the back that it suggests you say either once or once a week, once a month, once a day, whatever you feel called to, is, I am blessed with great mental clarity. I clear my mind effortlessly and intimately know and trust my inner truth. I accept myself without judgment. I meditate regularly with great ease and enjoy being insightful. Okay, very cool. I am wondering if some of you are going to pick more than one pile. Pile 1 had a similar energy about clearing out the old, realigning themselves, and this one is very specific about focusing on meditation to get that understanding. So we'll see what your cards have. And if you didn't see the explanation before, we are just going to pull cards to see what energy you're in right now, what kind of situation you're coming out of. And this should help you see if this energy resonates with you and if this is the right pile for you. Okay. This one. Future fortune. Okay. Get another one here. Ooh, yeah. So I have a hunch that some of you maybe should check out pile 1. Just see if that feels true for you or not. But I'm actually getting some of the same cards. Lots of water cards. And I'm just going to pull a few from this deck. Look at that, a card that says meditation. Ooh, yes, and mother healing. First thing I should say is that it's great that this farewell to the moon card came through. It says appreciate and enjoy lunar and light cycles. I actually see it that it's an affirmation that this is the end of this cycle and we're going to be pulling cards to see a new one coming in. That's really good to know, that things are going to be changing. And what I see that there's been a lot of hardship. I feel like you've been crying a lot, that you've been very emotional, and you've been really trying to deal with, I do keep seeing that these two things are pretty connected, where mother healing, so I do believe you've gone through a hard time with your mother or the person who was in your mother role. And this is actually the wounding that you have been healing from. And you've been crying about it. You've been just letting your emotions come through and trying to basically release it, get past it, heal it. And it's very interesting because I do see that it's been hard. Like there's some times where you're doing really good and you felt lighter and like things were getting better. But then you also had this time where you felt lost and had no direction and were wondering if any of it was even working, and just that it was really hard. Like this, it's really been a lot of reflection is how I see it. Yeah, and it's not been the easiest, but there has been good points, really good high points from it, and some very low points as well. Okay. And I think you're kind of getting to this point where you're like, what do I really do about this situation? And this is where I think you have recently come to a decision, or you're about to come to a decision on what your next steps are. What do you want to do with this? I don't know, you could be parents yourselves. That could be why it feels so important. You might just have recently found out you're pregnant, something like that. But whatever it is that you've healed yourself from, you did it intentionally for a cause. And that's why I really like this. Yes, your intuition is correct. Take action accordingly. Spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire. And this about understanding the situation. Some things come up where this healing that you've done or been working through, this wound you've been working through, has led you to something. It could even be that maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to help other people who went through this kind of wounding and be a good guide for them. It could be anything like that, but whatever you're thinking of is the right decision for you. It's just gonna take some, I like seeing this, it literally says meditating, spending some time alone with yourself, and really asking what you want and what's right for you. Yeah. So if that resonates with you, then you have probably picked the right pile. If not, some of you might be interested in pile 1. I do think they're going to be different energies, but similar for some. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Clear these out. Oh, sorry. I should also say that it says that through healing this wound, your desires manifest more rapidly. So that's also a really good card. I want to make sure I read that because it means that all that work that you did wasn't without reward and without a higher cause. Okay, now we're going to ask, what is the energy of the next 3 months for this pile 2? What's coming in for them? What is going to be happening? Okay, 1. Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune. Ooh, more water themes. I know they're mermaid cards, but there's actually a lot that aren't so water focused, and water seems to be very important for this pile. Okay, I want 3 cards. I just like that number today. Air Dragon helps you rise above earthly matters. Communicate honestly, brings inspiration and hope. See life from a higher perspective. And our last one of the dragons, Deep Blue Dragon. Ooh, I did also get this for pile 1, so that's really neat. And they're all blue for you. They're all blue. All blue. Like water. Okay, pile 2. So you might be glad to see that this card came through. It means in the next 3 months, you guys are really going to start developing your psychic abilities. You are essentially going to start to understand your soul purpose a little bit better, and I think you've been trying to work your way there, but this card is definitely a confirmation saying that it's coming in. This dragon brings in spiritual enlightenment, more spiritual knowledge. It really helps us understand and reconnect with our higher self, the wisdom from our other lifetimes that we've lived, all that good stuff. And I definitely am getting that energy again where for some of you who are essentially a role model or a parental figure or support, I do think it could be you are a parent, you are a counselor, you are doing, I feel like you're at the beginning of your journey there. Like maybe you want to be a therapist someday or a life coach someday, but you're just starting that process. And this is really telling me that you're gonna do good. That's what I should try to say. That this dragon is more or less here to support you and help you remember your wisdom and the knowledge you already have within you. And I am just gonna say it. I think like this pile, if you chose this one, you have had many past lives in Atlantis. It feels so Atlantean. And not just because of the water, but just the same kind of knowledge that keeps coming through. They had so much knowledge on the spiritual, and that's coming through pretty heavily here. So reconnecting with that energy within yourself in the next 3 months is really going to help you be this better support system that you're craving for whatever kind of business you're going into or parent role you're trying to be for your children. And I feel like it comes again from not having the greatest role model from your own mother or parent who couldn't hold space from for you. I actually should comment, could even be specifically the feminine energy, which would be that person who can hold compassionate space for you to feel your emotions. That wasn't there for you, and you are definitely here to create that space for others. I'm going to suggest, if you feel comfortable with it, in the next 3 months, start working with this dragon. Because there's so many different colors and types of dragons, I feel it's very important to specify exactly which one you're wanting to work with. So saying aquamarine dragon, and I guess I would add in from Neptune, to please surround you. And I feel like what that would look like is seeing a dragon that almost swims around you and has water flowing around it. And I think that is really going to help you gain that higher knowledge from yourself, because this dragon's going to help bring it in for you. So only do what resonates with you, but working with this dragon feels really helpful and really important. And I feel like it's going to be comforting for your soul. It loves water and it loves anything to do with it and working with it. And this dragon is basically the physical embodiment of water, so that is good. It just feels really comforting and familiar to your soul. So I would recommend working with that. It even says spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive invaluable soul knowledge. It just feels real good. Okay, and then this deep blue dragon, I'm going to skip over here. This one is really good for protection, and I feel a little bit of a different vibe than for pile one with it. It is here for protection, and I feel less like it's a need to be of service to people for you for this one. This one's more important for your own health, your own self, and making sure that you are shielding yourself and clearing out your spaces. You've gone through a lot in the last 3 months, and I really feel like this pile should remember to sage their homes. That's kind of funny to say that coming up, but I think it should be part of your new routine. Once a month or every 2 weeks, sage your whole house, sage your car, sage your office, wherever you're doing this, and it's going to be a lot better for you, for your health. That is very important in this pile. I'm definitely getting that as a message. And making sure that you are energy shielding yourself, or you can work with this deep blue dragon in clearing the energies in the spaces before you go to them. So if you're gonna go to a grocery store or to a shopping mall or a movie theater or a restaurant, send army, I'm gonna say, like multiple deep blue dragons to that place to clear out the lower energies and bring in love and light. And that is going to be a kindness you can do to the others in that space, but it feels vital for you. You just have very, very sensitive energies, and I just see this drains you quickly if you don't do that. If you go out and the energies stick to you, or they're very easily drawn to you, and I think that's just because you have a very, I almost want to say, advanced, experienced soul. Like, things are very drawn to you. They're very attracted to you. So please, 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 before you go out, send this deep blue dragon to that place. If you're going over to in-laws' house, send it there. Send it wherever you can. And I feel like you should work with more than one. I feel like you should have like a pack of them. Like, you can even go like at the start of your day, like I send deep blue dragons out to the grocery stores I'm going to the homes I'm visiting, to the restaurants I end up at, and just do that. I'm so sorry if that seems like a lot of work, but I just feel like the benefit for you, it doesn't feel like it's a lot of work in the ratio of what you're getting back. It feels necessary. It doesn't mean it's going to be necessary forever. Maybe you'll get better at shielding your energy, but right now you're really needing this dragon to be there to help you with this. Yeah, feels very vital and very important. And try to work with it over the next 3 months. After 3 months, reevaluate if you're still needing that, but for the next 3 months, this is very important that you work with these dragons in this way. Especially this guy, but I also think this guy, he's really going to give you what you're wanting on an intellectual level. And you might want protection, but I hate to say it, we can just get lazy as humans and not see the value in it when we're not wanting to take the time to do it. But this guy's really going to bring you what you're wanting. And then as for the air dragon, he said, help you rise above earthly matters, communicate honestly, bring inspiration, hope, see life from a higher perspective. This dragon is great for working with this aquamarine dragon from Neptune, in the sense that whatever job you're trying to do, and even, you know, in daily life, it's really good to have a communication helper. But I think this one is more so for the work energy you're shifting into, or that parent role you're trying to shift into, because it's really about being the calmer one in the situation. And that doesn't mean not having emotions, but almost being in a place where you're free from your bias, seeing all the sides, seeing your perspective and honoring it, and seeing the other person's perspective and why they reacted, and honoring that, and then speaking from a place of calmness, love, support, and curiosity. So what that would look like is, if previously someone would say something and you would get upset because what they said is really badly worded, you would be able to take a breath. And I hate to say it because it is air dragon, it is saying to take the pause, and by breathing it gives us a pause and it calms our body down. And it would also triggers us to reflect on, okay, what's happening in the situation. I've trained myself to take a breath or two every time I'm feeling a bit defensive, or like someone's just said something that's not really appropriate, and then seeing our reaction, respecting it, and then trying to see why they said that, what wounding in them's coming up, what are they actually trying to say. And I feel like you're dealing with a lot of people who aren't able to admit their vulnerability, so they might say it in a way that is going to make sure they don't get their needs met. Nonviolent communication might be a really good thing for you guys to look into. It has a very similar energy to what this card is saying you're going to start trying to embody in the next 3 months. And that could even be a great one. Just go on YouTube and look up nonviolent communication. I think his name was Marshall something, and yeah, it's, just see if that resonates or not. But more or less, it's really calling that to you to be the calm, loving, and supportive person in the conversations, because the people you're working with are sort of injured, lost, too scared to be vulnerable, so they kind of have this defensive, fighty energy. And I wouldn't say this in all relationships, but I feel like you're trying to enter a career or a role where you address that, and that's why it's appropriate to be like that. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from this card. So this is what's coming in. Really good energy, really exciting. It seems like you guys are going to be very busy at work, bringing more goodness and support into the world. I am going to pull a couple from this one, just seeing suggestions for you guys for the next 3 months on how you can basically support what you're going to be going through in the next 3 months. Ooh, I'm gonna want that one actually. Pink, let love in. That's a good tip. You guys seem like you're going to be putting a lot of love out. Nurture yourself. Ooh, I really like the color matching there. So part of nurturing yourself could be making sure you're taking the steps to defend and protect your energy and prioritize it. And we'll do one more for balance. Violet, ooh, also came out in pile 1. So there's definitely been some similar cards. Create balanced life. Ooh, so if you didn't notice, there's definitely a common theme here. Let love in, nurture yourself, create a balanced life. About everything that you're trying to do in the next 3 months, up here is saying mainly that you're doing it for other people, and that's not a bad thing, because I feel like it's just part of your life purpose to do a career where you're wanting to correct this energy in the world. You're trying to support people, and that's just what you want to do. But to not get lost in it, make sure there's balance, that you are taking care of yourself, you are clearing your energy, protecting your energy, not over giving, only giving what you have energy to give, and accepting help back. Because there is a little bit of a showing of imbalance here, where you're often the giver and not often the receiver. And not to get too caught up in work, and still prioritize time for just personal pleasure. Meaning, if you love going to the gym, then great. Make sure you're prioritizing time for you to still be able to go for the amount of time you like to go every day or every week. Or if you just like to do like a random activity every evening or something like that, whatever it is, don't lose sight of that, because that's what keeps your cup full. That's what makes you able to give. So if you start draining or not feeling like yourself, pause. Even if you're scared you're going to end up behind, truth is, if you don't re-energize, you're going to take longer to do these things. You're going to break down anyways. I don't mean I just mean that you're gonna need time to recharge, and it's actually gonna put you more behind in the long run than just having taken that little recharging break of a day or two versus needing like weeks or months. Okay. Another because these are all flowers, I actually really like the idea of you guys using essential oils that are floral if you have a diffuser, or if you like having flowers in your house. I feel like that could be really good for you guys. You really like the energies that come off of them. And yeah, this seems like a little nice little touch there. Sunflowers specifically, I don't know if this is supposed to be a sunflower, but I keep thinking of sunflowers. They're really good at removing toxic radiation and stuff from the environments around them, so maybe you need a little bit of that. And I don't know why, if you guys are feeling called to it, maybe try Googling the spiritual meaning of tulips, pink tulips, or even purple tulips. I think there could be a message in there for somebody if you feel drawn to it. And lastly, we are going to pull a few cards from this love deck. See what's going on there in the next 3 months. And it can be love with self, friends, family, romantic. There's no limit there. Okay, yeah, I feel like you guys definitely have a lot of similarities with the pile 1 energy. So, whoop. Actions. Wow, okay, I'm actually getting all the same cards as them. So, oh, well, this one's different. Okay. Okay, actually, it's going to be a little bit different. So, this one here, very interesting. I feel like you guys actually might be a bit different from the pile 1 energy in the sense that you kind of push away love. You romantic love, I should say specifically. I think there's a bit of fear there around being that vulnerable or not being fully accepted. Or being, I feel like you guys are saying like, I might be too much, I might be too much. But that's not true. That feels like a pretty hard limiting belief, but I think it has something to do with that mother wound and how they made you feel. And here it's saying it's okay to speak with love and truth. Like, it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable and have that relationship. You're so deserving of it. And once again, there's that flower. Flowers mean a lot to you guys too. You like your flowers and waters. But yeah, it's something I think that's going to be healing over the next 3 months. I think you might be finding that there's someone who despite your persistent saying no, I think it could be a soulmate or soul partner kind of energy, and they're not going to give up as easily as others. I think they're going to keep popping back in. And this card's coming up just to say, like, it's okay to let things in, and that maybe some people are just in our lives for a short time to teach us something or to remind us of love we could have. And I think you could be scared, like, oh, well, it might not last forever. And I feel like this card's just saying it doesn't always have to last forever. It could just be to experience that love and passion this lifetime. That could be what your soul needs right now, is a little bit of fun, just a little bit of love. And action speaks loudly. Express your love through action. If this person does exist, you know who I'm talking about. It's saying to maybe do more acts of service, kind of love style, or it could be gifts, but I feel like it's acts of service. I did say the example of like getting someone a coffee in the other reading, but I really do feel like that. It's just the small things, like getting them their favorite drink because they've had a bad day, or say they got a traffic ticket or something and you bring them some cookies or something like that. Something that they really like. Maybe they really love bagels. It's something that means so much to them, but really doesn't cost much on your end to do. And that's like really the kind of stuff they like, because they're like, you can say you feel bad and supportive, but doing that physical action really helps them feel like, oh, you really were paying attention to me. You really were listening to me. And consider your foundations. You have a little bit of different message than pile 1 with this one as well, where the other one I felt like wanted to be in relationships more than they really should have been, like needing it. You guys, I think, are the opposite, where you push them away. You kind of have these weird beliefs around relationships where guys can't be trusted, women can't be trusted, that it's not safe to be vulnerable. And this is really asking you to start evaluating that. Where did you learn that, and why do you believe it? And really just see how that sits with you. Where does it sit in your body? What does it mean when it sits in your body there? And I feel like there'll be a lot of meditating and candlelit manifestation work around this, but that's later on. I do feel like this is just what they're wanting you to start consider and really reflecting on in the next 3 months, because I do see they want to bring you in someone, but they need you to be open to it to really have it be fully 100% brought in. They need a full body yes. A full-hearted yes, if that makes sense to you guys. Okay, that's all I have for you. I hope you guys have a good New Year's if you're watching it then. If not, enjoy your week, enjoy your month, enjoy your next 3 months, and maybe we consider rewatching this in a month. See if it resonated with you still. If you needed the reminder that what suggestions about protecting yourself and remembering that, about making sure you're still prioritizing yourself. Yeah, I feel like this pile might need the reminder maybe in a month. Keep focused. Help them stay aligned. Okay, anyways, that's all I've got. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you around. Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed your card reading. I just want to take the time to say, if there is a topic you would like to see a card reading about, feel free to leave it in the comments. I can't guarantee that I'll do it, but I would like to know what other people are wanting to hear or have readings around. And if not, feel free to just like this video or leave a comment whether it resonated or not. You know, just so I know that it's working for someone, it's helping somebody out. Yeah, that's really all I have to say here. So anyways, thanks for sticking it through to the end, and I hope you guys enjoy your week. I'll see you soon. All right, hello pile 3. You chose pyrite, and what it says is, are you worried about money? Are you willing to accept prosperity into your life? You can earn unlimited income doing what you love to do. Use your skills, follow your dreams, have confidence, believe in yourself and your ability to be successful. So if you feel open to it, the back of these cards have affirmations to say just once a day, once a week, once a month, once a year, whatever you feel called to do. And it says, I am prosperous and abundant in all of my endeavors. I have limitless potential and I fulfill my highest purpose. I naturally attract whatever I need to be joyously successful. I earn unlimited income doing what I love. So it could be a good one to consider saying maybe every day for 7 days, just to really put it out there that that's what you want and you believe. So I really love affirmations for that. It also keeps me focused on bringing in the good and that it's possible for me. Keeps you refocused. Okay, so if you missed it, we are going to pull cards from 2 mermaid decks, just asking what is going on for you right now, and that way you can see if your energy resonates with it and this is the right card pile for you. So here we go. What does pile 3, what's pile 3's energies right now? What are they going through? Okay, take a few more here. And you know what? I want one more. I want one more still. Okay, and we're just going to pull 3 more from this, and then we'll explain what's going on here. Do I want that one? Okay. I think you have realized, or something's been brought to your attention around your finances, and I think specifically your financial beliefs or habits. And I think you could have been overspenders, or maybe you just grew up and didn't have a lot of money, and you can go into this poverty mindset sometimes. Or sometimes I think you just can have these, what are they called, shopping sprees, where something happens, you can not feel better unless you go and spend money, get new things, and you feel better for a little bit, but then once you go home you feel really gross about it. And I think you came out of that energy, and somehow it got put into your awareness that was happening, and that you didn't want it in your life anymore. You didn't want to be worried about money anymore, and you were wanting, honestly, just like a better, healthier financial situation and stability in your life. I don't know if you fully forgave yourself for the pattern, but I think you've been working on self-forgiveness around it and realizing where it came from. You know, that maybe it was just something you were taught. Maybe that's what your parent did all the time. That now you're seeing that you really want to bring in something better, that you want to be able to retire someday, to have a family someday, to support yourself and just basically not be that stressed all the time. And I feel like you've been really doing a good job working on this. I also like that all these cards make me think of the hues of this pyrite stone, so that's really awesome. So it's a wave of power, a surge of power, upswing in energy, exhilarating movement. So it tells me that you are making progress in this energy. And then I just keep seeing the call. I feel like that's just you when you realize that there was something unhealthy about this and you didn't want to be living in it anymore. And this is saying that you've had to be patient, because it does take time. It takes time to pay off debt, to get reestablished financially. And I don't see this as a negative energy card, actually. I feel like it's a very wise card, where it's really amazing that you realized this and you've started to shift debt. Still beat yourself up a little bit about not doing it quicker or better. I think maybe you can still occasionally slip up, and maybe you go and you say, like, buy a lot of junk food or buy one really expensive item, but it happens way less now, definitely way less. And I really see, like, I see this, the unseen card, I actually really see that you're like really, you're crawling out of this bad habit. It sounds funny to say, but I feel like you were kind of doing it because you felt emotionally gross, you know, you felt very low, and you're, instead of staying in that place and doing this thing to kind of not deal with the emotion, you're actually starting to deal with it and see what's hidden behind this tendency. So good job. That's a lot, but I feel like you guys have been on a pretty steady uprise from it, and you've been doing pretty good. I really like that it has a manifestation card. Like, you've really been trying to, I think you guys might even say that. You might even be doing affirmations where you listen to them in the morning, and they're about being more financially abundant. Maybe you have like a little affirmation on your phone where when you look at it, it says something around you're healing your financial wounds or something like that. I can't quite figure it out, but something. Yeah, I really like that. Okay, so that's the energy that you are in or coming out of. We're going to take a look at what the next 3 months have in store for you. Starting with this dragon deck. Coming up in pile 3's next 3 months. Blue dragon from the Pleiadians prepares you to accept source healing. Give a heart activation. Give and receive heart healing. Whoops. Fire dragon, burn up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. Okay, like another one, please. One more. Pure white dragon from Orion transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. Wow, I actually really like these cards. I really like these two together too. This seems really good. So I want to actually start with this middle card. I really like this. So in the way that the next 3 months the energy is coming through, it seems like you are still going to be working on the energy you're in a bit, but you're going to keep making headway. It's not that you're just going to kind of be slumped there. I don't want you to think that. But unfortunately, you're not quite at the end of that cycle. You are just still processing clearing it. But I feel like you guys know that because it felt still a little bit unfinished in the energy you're in. So next 3 months, this dragon is amazing. If you feel like working with it, which I strongly, strongly recommend, the fire dragon, if you welcome them in, you allow it to help you, works on basically dissolving and healing our childhood blocks, the blocks that the emotions hanging there, just the stuff that's really deep, that's really centered around limiting beliefs. And this is so great for your energy because it's really going to help with those random I want to say spurts that come up, and all of a sudden you feel like you need to go do that shopping spree again, or you purchase something that you'll regret later. It's really going to help. I feel like this card is the solution. Obviously there's other things to work on too, but this card is so great and so powerful. So fire dragon, be specific about the fire dragon if you're open to working with them. I just really think that you should ask them to clear the path ahead of you, to call on them to go deep into your childhood or past lives and release any of those blocks that are coming up now and affecting you now. It's so, so important because I think for you it's mostly childhood, but because this is such a deep rooted pattern or belief to do, I think there could be some past life energy that's also just adding to the pile of things you're having to clear through. And that's why I think it's important to ask this dragon to clear both childhood and past life energies. This, I want to say, like addiction, this shopping addiction, or maybe you gamble a lot. I'm not sure. I think it's more shopping related or spending money versus gambling, but I don't want to leave that out. That could also be part of it for you guys. Oh, that sounds so amazing. But either way, you are going to be working through it. I just think this guy is going to speed it up, bring it more into your awareness. Yeah, it just feels great. He's also going to help it not be such a strong trigger because you won't have all this emotion and past life energy stacked on top of the pile. Fire also is very powerful, strong energy. So having this dragon around is also going to be good at just keeping you inspired and feeling good and encouraged to keep up the good work, to not give in to this old pattern. So that's also another reason why I think it could be really good to have this dragon around. Basically, if you're open to it, consider working with all three of these dragons as guides for the next 3 months. After 3 months, reevaluate. Are you still needing them for that purpose? Are they still in alignment with you? And decide yes or no. Okay. Next one I really want to talk about is this one. These two are just really jumping out at me right away. I do like this card too, but they feel like these two are really, really important for the block you're trying to get through. It says, Pure White Dragon from Orion transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. This dragon here, very powerful on clearing the block as well, on bringing wisdom into your what's am I trying to say? It's like it's going to let you really see the full picture, the big picture on why this is happening, on why you're doing it. You're going to know the trigger quickly, and being able to create solutions on how to stop it before it's too late, how to avoid situations, how to get your needs met, so whatever block is coming up, you aren't needing to do it in this outlet that you are. And I really feel like I'm not going to be able to put into words how important this dragon's going to be, but it's going to be really the one that gets you there. This one's clearing the baggage so it's easier and lighter, and this one is really coming in and putting that new wisdom in, and putting in, I almost feel like that system in place where you're like, okay, when this happens, this is what I do, so how do I avoid that? When I start to feel like that, I'm gonna go blank. I'm gonna go straight to my friend's house. I'm gonna give them my phone so I can't buy anything or do anything. I'm gonna go to my partner's house. I'm going to go wherever it is. It's really going to be great. It's going to put things into action It's going to make you act with the most wisdom, the most knowledge, really see what's happening. Because I think you see, well, I get a bit sad and I do this. This is really going to be like, this is what's happening. This is the belief that's coming up. This is the trigger that's coming up. Whatever was unseen in the emotional body about why this is happening is coming to light in the next 3 months. And like I said, it is going to come to light no matter what. But if you work with this energy, they're really just saying they want to help, and they're going to help you get through it not on your own, with more ease, with more support. And who doesn't want more support and more clarity and more help? So please think about working with the pure white dragon from Orion. Orion has a lot of wisdom about doing things the most efficient way, so it's really good that you specify. I know it's a long name. These two together I feel like one doesn't work as great without the other. Like the healing of the past block, releasing the stuff holding you back, and then putting in what you know now in the current, just feels so good. Feels so key. Okay, moving on to this blue dragon from the Pleiades. Prepares you to accept source healing. Accept a healing activation. Give and receive heart healing. So right now it actually makes sense why these two kind of come first in my mind, before you even feel ready to receive that healing energy to kind of finish up this pattern. Like, I feel like this is going to give you what you didn't get, but you kind of need to know what you didn't get and what's happening within yourself before you can receive and know what it is that you need to be getting. I hope that makes sense. So I do think it's important to keep working with this guy alongside of these, but I think he's going to do the most be the most helpful for you if you're doing these two, because it's almost like if you have too many blocks and too much kind of like gunk hanging around, it's really hard for the new stuff to come in and have space. So working this two together and then bringing this in on top of that is great. That's like, I feel like these are just like the 3 keys to success. You're good. I don't know for sure. I mean, I don't want to make any promises, but I feel like the next 3 months, if you work with these energies, these dragon energies, it's gonna speed it up so much that maybe in the next 3 months, this is the end of the cycle for you. You might be able to start on to the next cycle. I don't know that for sure, but I do feel like for some people here, that is actually going to be what happens. You're just needing this little extra helper, because you've already done a lot of work. You've already been in this cycle for a bit. You've had it in your awareness for a bit. And this is just going to be that extra superpower strength you need to finish that cycle off. Okay. And I also think it's going to make you feel more deserving and worthy of receiving help and such. That's what this dragon's going to bring. Okay, let's move on to this other deck here. Just suggestions on things you can do during the next 3 months, things that you need to help support you in getting through this energy. Okay, I actually really want this one. Magenta, connect to your deepest inner knowings. Ooh, that's really good. Purple, develop mental clarity. And third, red. Ooh, I like your colors you got. Free yourself from pain. Oof. I like it. I like it a lot. I guess I just said that. But they all go so good together. Very complimenting. Okay, so why I'm liking this so much, if you're wondering. All this here seems like what you're needing to get to the root of this block, because I feel like it's an emotional limiting belief that you learned. And what I mean by that is, could be that somewhere inside you could believe you're not deserving of love, or that you're not a good person, or that you mess everything up. It could be some kind of limiting belief around that, and it doesn't matter if you read a list of them until you go deeper within yourself and you feel what's there. What is it that you're scared of? What is it that comes up and makes you kind of run away and react in this way and need these items to make you feel better, make you feel like you have more? And yeah, I really feel like no one can do this work for you except for you, and going deeper and knowing what it is that's happening. To develop mental clarity, because it's really going to take a lot of awareness when something shifts with you, and then you start to go into this phase. So that's a really good thing to start developing. I feel like meditation is going to be good for this group, just in being calm in your body and knowing what's going on. That might be really uncomfortable at first, but if you just did a 10-minute meditation a day, you're going to start being more aware of your cues and when something just feels a bit off within you and this comes out, this habit comes out. You might start with one day just feeling a little bit unappreciated, say. I don't know for sure, but that could be the example. And then it just piles up from there, and then by the fourth thing said or that made you feel that way, that's when you have this pattern come up. So I feel like that's going to be great on being very aware of when you're in aligned, when you're being, what's going on within you. And then free yourself from pain. You being a bit hard on yourself for having this habit, like really beating yourself up for not being able to get over it. Being gentler with yourself, having more kindness and compassion towards yourself. You are working through it. I see that in all your cards, so no need to beat yourself up on something that you're already trying to shift. And I also feel that it is also some pain from the belief that is coming up. Like you feel really blank. I can't quite say it. It's up for you to figure out what it is that you're feeling. This brings this action or this bad habit into play, and releasing some of that emotion in another way is going to obviously help get rid of the pattern or the other way that you've been using to get it out of your system. It actually says that the red energy brings in prosperity and abundance, and so I really like that was reiterated because like that's where a lot of the fears and the blocks are coming from, is around that habit. And I believe from everything I've seen that it's around your financial spending and a bad habit around it. So I really like that this card came through. To remember, try to wear more red. Maybe try to eat more red with the intention of it bringing in more money and prosperity into your life. Just shifting that block. That might sound a little bit strange, but if it came up in your card reading, it's because there's value for you in that. And doing that, and eating red, wearing red. I even think in wearing pink or magenta, whatever color of pink that really is, because it's pretty symbolic of love and working on your self-love blocks. And I would say eat pink foods, but it's kind of hard to find pink foods. So wearing it sounds really good if you're open to it. Maybe even pink socks or something like that if you're a little nervous about people seeing it. Okay, we are gonna pull from this Whispers of Love deck, and it could be self-love, love with friends, partnership loves, just what's coming up the next 3 months for pile 3. Okay, this card so far has come out for every pile, so that's pretty interesting. Be authentic. And honesty is essential. Okay, that also came up in another pile. Actually really want to talk about this card first, where it says be authentic, be real, true to who you are and how you feel. I do think this is referring more to just being honest with yourself and others about how you're doing, because I think you're kind of needing more support from friends and loved ones around this, because I think you might have a lot of shame around it. You can have a tendency to hide it when you're needing more help, and then it doesn't help you with not going into the pattern or the cycle. And I understand that takes a lot of vulnerability, but it's going to be so much easier in the long run once you voice it to them. Coming from a place of being like, I need support around this because I'm scared this might happen again right now. This is what I need. So it's also going to take this reflection on what you need. And that's kind of where I'm actually seeing this card come in too, where it says honesty is essential. Speak with love and truth. First, going within yourself and seeing what's happening, what are you needing. And I just feel like you're wearing a mask. You're the one kind of like, I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound like blame. I'm sorry if it's sounding like that. I just see that it's really hard because this is something I think others have even given you a harder time for than you've given yourself. And it's really tricky, but part of healing is getting really uncomfortable and asking for what you need. And this is what is going to be really healing for you in the next 3 months, is learning how to do that and voice that and doing it in a way where people are hearing your need that you're feeling, like the needs you need, and they're gonna come at you with a much more compassionate energy, is how I'm seeing it. Is maybe sometimes you've just said something and didn't really say what you needed, or the emotion or the hard time you were going through, that people didn't give you the time that you were needing or the support you were needing, but they didn't realize how vulnerable you really are. So maybe keep that in mind. People don't always realize how vulnerable you really are. I think they think you're really tough, and I think that's why they haven't always had the most gentle energy towards you. All right, and then action speaks loudly. Express your love through action. This one I actually get. It's so interesting because I think they're saying like you might tell loved ones, like maybe you have a spouse or someone or a parent, or I think it's a spouse, honestly, where you're saying, like, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. And proving through your actions is more powerful than saying you are or aren't. People are going to believe you when your actions are showing it too, are upholding what you're saying. Like, you know, you're putting some substance behind what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys for the next 3 months. There was a lot of suggestions in there. Have more tools on how to get in what they're wanting in the next 3 months. So that's kind of the mindset I go in, because I think you all have free will and you can change what's happening at any point based on what you want to come in. So knowing that you want to work through this more, then I think it's great that in a future prediction reading, dragons come through and are like, hey, work with us, we're going to help you get there. Work with this color, we're going to get you there. So if that seemed a bit different from prediction reading, I always go into it with, you're in control of your life, and let's see how we can bring in what you want to bring in. Okay. So that's where I'm going to leave it. You guys have a good New Year's and enjoy your next week. I will see you soon, and I hope the best for you guys. Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed your card reading. I just want to take the time to say, if there is a topic you would like to see a card reading about, feel free to leave it in the comments. I can't guarantee that I'll do it, but I would like to know what other people are wanting to hear or have readings around. And if not, feel free to just like this video or leave a comment whether it resonated or not. You know, just so I know that it's working for someone, it's helping somebody out. Yeah, that's really all I have to say here. So anyways, thanks for sticking it through to the end, and I hope you guys enjoy your week. I'll see you soon. Okay, pile 4, you chose the Snowflake Obsidian. I can pick it up, there we go. And it says, are you afraid of the dark or of the unknown? Do you feel vulnerable? There's always darkness within the light. Darkness accentuates brightness to clearly see situations, people, and circumstances. Embrace the darkness to enhance the clarity in your life. So then, the affirmation you can say every day, just once a month, once a week, whatever you feel called to, is, I courageously see through the darkness of adversity to make positive changes that light up my life. I know there is light at the end of the tunnel. I see myself, situations, and others clearly and participate in the transformations of negative to positive. I really like that. So what I am thinking just from reading this card is maybe a little bit of anxiety that you're going through right now, fear of the unknown. It could be a fear of not being in control, but we're going to pull a few more cards to see what energy you're in right now. 1, 2, 3, and we're doing this so that you can see, is this the right card pile for you? This is resonate with you. Yeah, you should know right away within this first little bit. I actually want this one, pile 4. Air, breathing deep, entering into life, exchange for life-bringing energies. I actually really like that. That is a great card for for the energy I'm getting from here. Okay, I want this one. Alright, I'll try to say that. Komensi, Seashell Divination, Wisdom of Shells. I've actually never gotten that card before. And the Magic of the Truth. Caution, Secrecy, Wary, and do we want one more? Let's do one more. The Crane Bag. Sacred Ocean Medicine, Clutter Declutter Choice. Oh, I really like that there's two things about seashells here. And sorry, I have one more deck I'm gonna pull from before we get into what's coming through in these cards. What does Pile 4 need to know right now? Their energy, have faith. Manifesting card. I really like the manifestations come through in all these piles because we are talking about predictions and you guys have free will on bringing in what you want to bring in. Dream big. Have faith. Treasure chest. A lot of blue cards here. An unforeseen windfall of new abundance comes to you now. Ooh, I like that. Well, the energy I get right away is that you guys are starting to kind of find out secrets around something. I don't know if it's about people that are in your life, or I think for some of you it's even like spiritual secrets. Like you guys may have found yourself recently going through the occult kind of studies or looking into, I want to say like conspiracy theories and trying to see things that have been hidden from you. And I think a lot of it has something to do with the spiritual though, because I'm really like, Druid energy is very old protection energy, and they're like obviously very spiritual beings. And then Seashell Divination, Wisdom of Shells. I feel like you guys might be looking into like ruin magic, or literally could be reading seashells or something around that. Something very, very spiritual though. And then Sacred Ocean Medicine, Clutter Declutter Choice. I also see this as like another type of almost like medium you're trying to use to do spiritual work. I really see it as like maybe we're doing oracle cards, but I think it's something different than that. You're tapping into some old kind of magic energy. That's the main theme here, I should be saying, is you guys have been really exploring old magic. Maybe this is even witchcraft vibes. Yeah. Definitely. And then I liked that the air came in because I was actually liking it because I was feeling like there's been some fear, and maybe that's it's maybe the fear and the unknown of some of this, or not knowing enough. I feel like there's just a lot of fear in general. Something happened that made you feel like you didn't know very much or didn't really know what was happening around you or the truth of things in the world. And deep breathing, the power of air is very powerful. And I think that's a really good thing to have been looking into. But the other thing that makes me a bit nervous is that I think some of you might have been looking into sex magic. I'm gonna have to say this is my own biased opinion, but I get pretty hesitant around that because there is a lot of darkness or not great energy in sex magic. There's a lot of making contracts with things you don't want to make contracts with, or making contracts with these other people that they don't necessarily know they're making a contract with you with. Like I said, I don't know that much about it. I've kind of chosen to stay away from it because I have seen that energy that needs to be cleared from people that I've seen, and I'm not trying to put a judgment on it, but I have yet to see it being used in a good way and not a selfish kind of control way, and that's where my bias is coming from. So I'm just mentioning that because I feel like there's been some intrigue around this, and just to go into it a bit cautiously because you don't want to be messing around with someone else's free will or stuff like that, because I really see it as there's someone in this relationship or in this thing where they're not as aware of what's happening as the other person, and that person could even be you. You might even be the person who's unaware, but something's telling me you are aware. It might be you who's doing it, but I don't think you are intentionally doing it from a meaning to be harmful place. But like I said, I'm just going to end this rant here. That's just something that I try to be very cautious of, is that type of magic. Very binding. I think that is why. Okay. Have faith, treasure chest, dream big. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. An unforeseen windfall of new abundance comes to you now. Let go of small thoughts about yourself. See yourself succeeding. Yeah, so definitely you're trying to bring something in. And from what I see, they're confirming that it is coming your way. Definitely shifting out of old energy, coming into something new. And I feel like you're going to feel more free, less controlled. I feel like you guys have felt very controlled and little lately. Gender card reading, I'm not getting an exact reason why, but whatever it is that you're doing, you are getting out of that. I feel like you guys actually are very witchy vibes. I know I said that once, but I'm like, I feel like you guys have been making like God boxes or things like that, and you've been putting the things you want to manifest in them. If you have been doing that, that's really good, because this is saying that is coming through, and good job. Okay, so if that feels like you, then this could be a card reading for you. If it's not your energy, then it might be worth trying to pick a different pile. But yeah, let's see what's happening. We are going to start with this Dragon Oracle deck, and we're just going to ask what's coming for you guys in the next 3 months. Orange Dragon brings soul families and communities together. That's really cool. Another pile got that card. I really love seeing it come out. Earth Dragon clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded. Be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. I really like that too. And we're just going to pick a third for pile 4. What's coming their way? Royal Blue and Gold Dragon. Strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken to your own majesty. Wear your cloak of power with pride. That's good. That's telling you right here that you are going to definitely keep feeling not as powerless or out of control as you've previously been feeling. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Orange Dragon first. And it's talking about in the next 3 months, people from your soul family, your soul group, people who are aligned, who think like you, are coming in. And that's really great, because I feel like that's what we all want. We really want to be reconnected with our soul families and to be understood and feel like we belong. It also means that there's going to be a time of more joy coming in, where you're going to feel more light and loving and more accepting, really finding your place in the world. And that's great. Great to see coming in for you, and for helping shift that energy of, I feel like you felt a bit outcasted, or not quite like you fit in, like you were just a bit odd, but you're going to start finding the people who think like you, and it's all going to make more sense, be more harmonious. And the next here, this Earth Dragon clears your path. So this is coming up, and I do like, because the obsidian stone is telling me that there are some things that need to be cleared out that are holding you back, and some self-reflection necessary to see yourself clearly and to move forward. And this dragon, if you choose to work with them, is going to help speed up this process in the next 3 months. What they do is, if you ask them to, of course, you always got to ask, is going to clear some of the blocks that are in the environment around you. If you've ever heard of positive and negative ley lines in the world and the earth, they're naturally occurring. This dragon works with them to clear them. And say if your house is on a naturally occurring negative ley line, it's going to be kind of unpleasant living there. It can give you headaches if you're sensitive to energies, like you might get migraines a lot, but maybe you didn't get them before. Negative energies are attracted to them, so anything you name it could find its way into that area, because it's just naturally more aligned with their energy. So if this is something that's resonating with you, Ask this earth dragon to clear the energy, clear specifically the ley lines around your house, around the place you're working, whatever it is where you feel kind of gloomy or not your best. And it should help shift that energy, because earth dragons obviously says earth in it, work with the earth very well. If there's anything that can help a naturally occurring ley line, it's going to be an earth dragon. They might even be the only ones who can work with that other than Mother Earth herself. It's also going to help you see more clearly what it is that you're working towards and be more grounded and aligned with the goals you're wanting to have for yourself. So overall, really great dragon, really great. I feel it's really mostly powerful for you guys with the blocks, because I do feel like there's like a negative energy hanging around. I don't know if it's you necessarily or the place you're living, but doing this I think will nip that in the butt. They won't really want to be there anymore, and they're going to be told they have to go by this dragon. And I just really want to reiterate, it doesn't mean anything towards you necessarily, but I even think they might be influencing you more than you think. Maybe bring a little paranoia to you, actually, is how I'm seeing this. If you feel like you've had more paranoia than normal, also a really good sign to call on this earth dragon to clear these areas, and you can work with them all the time. Don't think that this is just like a one-time card reading. This could be like a guide that's really important for you in your life to be working with, say, forever. So you just have to check in with yourself and see if that resonates with you or not. Maybe you're thinking about being someone who clears houses for other people. This would also be a great guide to work with, an earth dragon. Ground you as well. This last dragon here, royal blue and gold dragon, is going to help you learn your tools again. Pick up your gifts, your weapons, your medicine bag from other past lives that you can use in this lifetime. And because I feel like you guys are really interested in the spiritual work, this is what's going to help get you there. And it's going to come in, like I was saying, the other piles, all this stuff is going to come in the next 3 months, if this is what you're manifesting. But working with these individual dragons will just help bring it in quicker, easier, with less work on your part, because you're asking them for help and they specialize in each one of these things. So that's why I'm kind of going into detail about what the dragon does and brings to you. So this one is really going to help you remember your past lives and bring to you your old skills, the lessons, the things you've learned from other past lives. And I think it's also going to bring you more courage and confidence. And I have seen that being a bit of a wavering thing in this pile. I don't know if it's always like that or just recently, but it's going to help you doubt yourself less, be more confident in yourself, and really trust in yourself. And when I see the royal blue, I feel like this dragon actually is very connected to the Archangel Michael energy. And maybe also consider working with him in shielding your energy and keeping you away from any energies that aren't in your highest good in love and light. I think that's really important for this pile. I just feel like you're very open right now, and unfortunately you're needing someone like Archangel Michael to be a bit of a protector, like a bodyguard, and be like a filtering system for you. I would ask him to do that role if I were you, because I just see that there's a lot of not so great things that are trying to sneak in because they're disguising themselves as this great thing. And I honestly keep thinking this might be why you're in this weird phase where you're a little bit afraid of the dark, where you're a little bit afraid of the uncertainties of things. And I think it's honestly being influenced by these things that are coming in, that are sneaking in and pretending to be of love and light. And I'm bringing this to your awareness because I see the solution to it, and it is possible to do. I'm not saying it and just leaving you with it. I really need to say that because I feel like I don't want you to panic. But I'm seeing it's important to call on this earth dragon to clear the ley lines in your house, to clear the overall property and the place you're working at, or these buildings you work at. And I feel like you should be working with Archangel Michael and ask him to be your divine, I think it's called gatekeeper, something like that. Basically, he just filters out what can come in And because he's an archangel of protection, he's going to do a very good job at keeping out and seeing any of that gross stuff from coming in. I think that's really going to shift your energy the most, to be honest, because I feel like this weirdness, this kind of grosser energy that's coming through I just feel like it's not really truly you. It's this other influence that's just snuck through. It just needs to be cleared. Yeah, I really need to emphasize that. Sometimes people have put a lot of pressure on that, like, oh, you know, like once you have it, you have it. That's not true at all. You just need to have it in your awareness and actually clear it. Sage yourself, sage your house, ask Archangel Michael to clear any of these energies or entities, clear the house, and I mean, check in with it. But I think that's what you're mainly needing to do. And maybe you just needed to hear this so you have it in your awareness that something has like maybe crept in, because I get that you guys have been, I feel like you're newish at it, but you have also been doing it for a while. So maybe there's just new spiritual aspects that you're bringing in, but you've maybe been doing it for yourself for a long time and now you're going to start doing it for others. I'm not totally sure about that, but I really have to reiterate, every time I try to read a card here, I get that you really have to do some energy clearing, something around that, because there's stuff influencing you that isn't of love and light, and this is not something that I think you are wanting in your life. But I could be wrong. Maybe you like that. I mean, it's not for me to judge, but I keep getting that message again and again. It's important for you to clear this energy from yourselves. And like I said, if you're feeling overwhelmed, ask Archangel Michael, ask this dragon. Give them your full permission to cut any cords, break any contracts, clear this energy on your behalf. Okay, we're going to ask what else is coming through. Tangerine, be spontaneous and have fun. I like that that lined up with the orange dragon. That's really cool. Oh, you got another orange one. Coral, allow flow, synchronicities into your life. Noticing a pattern here. And lavender, connect to body, mind, and soul. And I like that it's 44. It makes me think the angels are trying to work with you. And remember to look up synchronicities and ask what the angelic meaning is of them. Just go on Google if you don't know to do that. Like Google the angel number 44 or whatever number you've been seeing, or the angelic meaning of, say, an animal you keep seeing. And honestly, I even look up stuff like the spiritual meaning of tangerines, because a lot of the times it resonates with me. But anyways, we're going to get into the advice and suggestions they're giving to you for this 3 months. Very clear message here about releasing control and just focusing on having fun and enjoying this life experience, not taking yourself too seriously. And that usually clears out a lot of blocks for us, a lot of fears, because we're focused on the good and the having fun. Because it is oranges that came through, I think, and with the orange dragon, it's really important that you guys kind of make it a focus of yours to wear orange, eat orange, be around the color orange, have an orange blanket around. Orange bedding I actually think would be really great. You're really trying to focus on shifting your energy and having more inspiration, more love, more great people, more fun into your life in the next 3 months. That's like a pretty big message for you. And lavender, whenever I see lavender, I think calmness and relaxation, not pushing yourself too hard and enjoying yourself. I also think of putting lavender in an Epsom salt bath because it's very clearing. And since I've mentioned, I feel like this pile could use that, I would suggest doing that, I want to say once a week, having an Epsom salt bath with lavender essential oil in it. I think it's going to help you release any other energies you may have picked up, or like I said, I feel like you guys are doing some kind of clearing work for others, not just yourself now. It's also going to make sure you're releasing that if, say, you missed something when you're saging yourself. It's just that fallback kind of thing. Okay. We're going to do love cards, whispers of love, what's happening. It could be self-love, friendships, romantic partners. What is good for you to know? What's going to happen in the next 3 months for pile 4? I want this one. Okay. Spiritual connection. A relationship has connection that goes beyond this lifetime. So that really goes with the orange dragon card that said you are bringing in your soul group, your soul family. That's amazing. Here's another confirmation that that is coming in. I also think that's why I really want you to focus on orange, because it's going to help it come in really nicely. And then next card, relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. If you're noticing that you're starting to fall into old habits, maybe you're not being as true to yourself, maybe you're hiding aspects of yourself, whatever your pattern is in love life, to keep that in mind in the next 3 months, because this person coming in is soulmate energy, is really good, very complimenting, is able to support you and help you grow. They're basically going to be so connected to you on a heart, soul, mind level that it's important for you to recognize that you're not falling back into old patterns. Maybe you haven't always had the best relationships. This one is different. So it's worth taking the time and doing the work for it. And have faith is the last one. Trust your faith in the situation. Ooh, so I really do like it if you're transforming. Oh, that's great. See, that's so great. It's saying relationship patterns, you need to change some of them, but then I get it right after that, transformation, and you're going to overcome it. So those are really great love cards. I feel like if you guys thought you didn't get a great reading or you wasn't getting the great things that you might have wanted, love life is going to go great at the very least. Love life is going to be amazing. You're going to bring in that soulmate energy, and you're going to have an awareness around unhealthy habits or tendencies you've gone into in the past, and you're actually going to, I see that you are going to be shifting out of them. So great job there. That's amazing. Yay. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. You have a good one. Happy New Year's. And welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed your card reading. I just want to take the time to say, if there is a topic you would like to see a card reading about, feel free to leave it in the comments. I can't guarantee that I'll do it, but I would like to know what other people are wanting to hear or have readings around. And if not, feel free to just like this video or leave a comment whether it resonated or not. You know, just so I know that it's working for someone, it's helping somebody out. Yeah, that's really all I have to say here. So anyways, thanks for sticking it through to the end, and I hope you guys enjoy your week. I'll see you soon.